The papyrus, put it on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
We bring you the Papyrus TV news update. You're welcome. First, the headlines. Court to rule on Efcc's bid to cross-examine its own witness in case against ex-Kogi governor. Tinubu will win 2027 by landslide if opposition stays divided, Shehu Sani warns. Young lawmaker Rukayat Shitu makes history with power sector reform bill in Kwara. Now the details. The Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed June 26 for a crucial ruling that could reshape the trial of former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, who is facing charges of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. The ruling will determine whether the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) can cross-examine one of its own witnesses, a rare legal maneuver that has triggered sharp legal contestation between the prosecution and defense teams. Justice Emeka Wite adjourned the trial on Friday after listening to arguments from EFCC counsel Olukayode Enito (SAN) and defense counsel Joseph Daudu (SAN). The controversy centers around the EFCC's application to question its third witness, Nicholas Ojehomon, an internal auditor with the American International School, Abuja, AISA, not in re-examination but under cross-examination following the tendering of a judgment marked Exhibit 19 by the defense. Enito argued that because the defense had introduced a new document, a judgment from the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, through the witness during cross-examination, the EFCC was entitled to test the witness's understanding and clarify parts of that document. He said this was necessary to ensure fairness, citing Section 36 of the Constitution, which guarantees fair hearing. I am not re-examining him. I am cross-examining him because they brought this document, my lord, Enito insisted, stressing that the same right the defense had to put the judgment before the court should also be extended to the prosecution's scrutiny. But Daudu, representing Bello, forcefully opposed the application, warning the court that what the EFCC was attempting was unknown to Nigerian legal procedure. A party cannot cross-examine its own witness unless that witness has been declared hostile, Daudu said. Section 36 does not support their position. It only permits re-examination, not cross-examination. They cannot come under the cloak of fair hearing to rewrite the law. He also accused the prosecution of failing to connect the document to any ambiguity in the witness's earlier testimony. Justice Wite, unwilling to rule immediately on such a legally sensitive issue, directed both parties to formally address the court in writing on the points of law before he would make a ruling. The trial was subsequently adjourned to June 26 for ruling and to June 27, July 4, and July 5 for continuation. During earlier proceedings, Ojehomon confirmed under cross-examination that he had testified in other courts regarding the same school fee payment made by the Bello family in AISA, including a related case involving Ali Bello, the Chief of Staff to Governor Ahmed Ododo of Kogi State. He noted that in none of those cases, including the current one, had he made any adverse comments against Yahaya Bello. Ojehomon also testified that there was no documentary evidence showing funds from Kogi State or any of its local governments were used to pay the former governor's children's tuition at AISA. He added that no court order had directed the school to refund any money to the EFCC and that no judgment had labeled the fees as proceeds of money laundering. Meanwhile, as the 2027 general elections begin to emerge on the national radar, former Senator Shehu Sani has issued a sobering warning to opposition leaders. Unless they put aside their divisions and unite, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is poised for a sweeping re-election victory. Speaking with journalists in Abuja, Sani said that with the ruling All Progressives Congress APC actively consolidating power and luring defectors from rival camps, opposition parties are steadily weakening themselves through fragmentation, infighting, and self-interest. There's no way you can evict a ruling party without a coalition. Only through unity can opposition parties set aside narrow interests for the greater good of democracy, he said. Sani singled out major opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Labour Party, Social Democratic Party (SDP), and the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), for failing to build bridges toward a common political front. He expressed disappointment that past efforts at forging a coalition had been scuttled by personality clashes, ego-driven politics, and a lack of ideological focus. The former senator, a known advocate for democracy and social justice, emphasized that the lessons of the 2023 elections, where divided opposition votes helped the APC secure victory, should serve as a wake-up call. If they head into the election disjointed, APC will likely win by a landslide, he warned, urging opposition figures to initiate serious dialogue and strategic alignment before it's too late. His remarks come at a time when the APC is aggressively expanding its base, with several opposition politicians reportedly considering defection. Tinubu's political team is already believed to be mapping out re-election strategies buoyed by legislative control, regional alliances, and internal disarray within rival parties. In another development, Honorable Rukayat Shitu, Nigeria's youngest female lawmaker at just 27, is charting a new course in legislative activism with the sponsorship of the Kwara State Electric Power Sector Bill 2025. The bill, which passed its first reading during plenary at the Kwara State House of Assembly, is seen as a groundbreaking initiative to reform energy generation and distribution in the state. Speaking during the session, Shitu, who represents Owode Onire constituency, said the bill aims to repeal outdated electricity board laws of 1992 and 2006 and replace them with a dynamic legal framework that promotes decentralized power systems and encourages private sector investment. This bill is also creating an enabling environment for reliable power and empowering our communities, she said.
The papyrus,